Well, good evening, good morning, good night, good afternoon, good whatever. Welcome to Sidejag, the show where we talk about movies, music, not really. We talk about all guy stuff. All right, sometimes we have women on. I don't know. We have a good time. Tonight we have a special Grest.
Breast.
We have breast.
Whoa.
Tonight,
Whoa, he went dark
Oh,
there.
tonight we have a special guest joining us, Mr. Chris Vera. Vera or Vera?
V era.
Not even
So-
close, Dean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Vieira. We'll
The
just call him
Vieira.
Chris. It's Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Chris coming on tonight, joining us to talk about the one, the only Mr. Brooks. One of my personal Kevin Costner favorite movies, definitely better than Waterworld. Jesus, why?
Who did
I
like
kind of like
Waterworld?
Waterworld.
All right, there's
Oh,
one
no.
good scene in Waterworld. There's one good
Okay.
scene in Waterworld. Do you know which one it is?
Which one's
Best
that?
scene in the whole movie. When
Where he
the
drinks
old
his own
guy.
tea?
No, well, that was gross. When the old guy floating in the boat in the gas tank, and he watches the flame through, and he goes, "Oh, thank God!"
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
blows up. I can't tell you how many times I felt like that. It's like,
Oh, I thought you were going to say
God.
it was better than The Bodyguard, and I was like, you know what? Leave studio. We're done here.
oh God, no, dude, I have that on Laserdisc, bro.
Of course you do. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was awesome. Like I
Yeah.
love the bodyguard. I like Kevin Costner. Did you ever
Oh, yeah.
see? Okay, did you ever see one of his originals? This is a deep cut called No Way Out.
It sounds familiar, but like, give me the premise and see if
So
it pops to
there
mind.
was this photo of a deep cover Russian agent, and the whole movie, this thing is just doing its like resolution thing. So it takes like a week, it seems like, for it to resolve out who this picture is. But he's like an Annapolis graduate, Navy guy that's searching for this Russian, and somebody's, it's on Washington, and they're looking for this murderer, and like they're looking for this guy that turns out to be him in the end, and of course he
Yeah.
gets away in the end, just as like you're seeing the picture come out and it's him, and it's like, holy crap, you know. But it's old school Kevin Costner. If you
I
ever
haven't
get
seen
the
that.
opportunity, I would strongly recommend, Sunday, Saturday night, watch No Way Out.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
really cool.
Wait, so, did you watch Doom Patrol?
Okay, so I don't know what kind of life you've been leading, but I've been really swamped these last couple weekends.
Me too.
I will. Okay, but I wanted to watch Doom Patrol, but here's what happened. I sat down one night to eat dinner, and I was like, Doom Patrol wasn't on yet, so I was
Yeah.
flipping through the thing. We just got the Paramount network, and I saw Picard was on. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna pull my inner Scott, and I gotta watch some Star Trek. So I pressed play on Picard, and god damn it,
Doom Patrol was doomed.
dude, there was nothing after that. So I watched one episode, and I was like,
We gotta go.
remotes go. Got my work done, and then I was like, man, I got like an hour. I could watch another episode. I felt like a crack addict, man. I was like,
You guys wanna know my crack addict? Look. So this is Star Trek Fleeka, man. It's a mobile
oh
game.
Jesus.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
bro. Don't
Oh my
don't.
god! No, I suck at games. I got nothing to worry about there.
Oh man, it's
But so I spent the few hours. Luckily, it was only like eight shows.
Yeah.
I watched 3 that night, and then kind of sprinkled them throughout the week. So anytime I had a free moment, I watched Picard. And god damn it, it was wonderful. Oh, it was so good. I mean,
I've heard good things. I need to check it out.
I mean, I'm a Next Generation guy. I love
Yeah.
the Next Generation. I mean, I remember the last episode. It was like a big deal for me. And just sitting, there's something about that span of time between when that ended and now, and the movies and all that. But being able to sit there and have your favorite characters come out and have fun with you again, it was
Yeah.
like, it was so fucking cool. And I don't know how Star Wars fucked all that up with those 3 movies, because how do you bring Han Solo back and just kill him? It's like, let's play with Han Solo. Let's play with the Han Solo action figure for
Yeah.
a while. No, let's have his son kill him.
Right.
What?
yeah.
That was as much Harrison Ford's fault as it was theirs.
Yeah, but he
Because
wasn't
that
like
dude's
you.
just like, he don't want to do. He's like, I'm not going to do any more of these.
Yeah, but he still was in each one after that. And was like,
I know.
what the fuck is wrong with you people?
I
Now
was
we're gonna
more
get an
upset
Indiana Jones?
but by the way they done Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that whole train wreck. But just to sit there and watch Picard, it was like, man, this is it. It was wonderful to watch. I mean, I was like, I felt 20 years younger, man.
And it's locked away on a service no one will ever pay for.
You lean more towards Star Wars, though. Dean,
oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I'm the Star Trek lean. I'm the Trekkie, bro. Growing up, that was all me.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely easier to be a fan of Star Trek than it was Star Wars.
There's so much more content.
It was on TV, so I mean, it was like,
I wasn't a fan until the second movies come out. I had seen all the old movies, seen the Star Trek stuff, but the second round, the J.J. Abrams, the first one that come back, I was like, yeah, this is dope. That's when I started to get back into it.
Did you watch Voyager, Dean?
No, by that point I just kind of moved on from, like, I did Next Generation. I kind of like Deep Space Nine because I was a big fan of Avery Brooks. But you know, at that point, it was like by the time Voyager rolled around, I was like, I was really deep in my career and just didn't have the time that it took to be vested in a TV show anymore. So
makes sense.
That kind of got kicked to the curb. But you know, I knew enough about it to where it was like, if it was on, I would like watch it just to kind of like, you know, just go into that universe for a while. So it was like watching Picard was nice because they brought back Seven, and you know, there was all the characters that were, you know, through the whole thing. You know, the only thing I think they were missing was a Deep Space Nine link somewhere, which they might have had, but I totally missed. But it was like to watch. I was like, God damn, it was just great. I got done watching. I was like, oh, this was just wonderful. When's season 2 coming out?
Yeah, I've been waiting for season 2, and I'm like, oh, come on. You know, you got to watch. That's funny. It's a cartoon, but Lower Decks is funny.
I've caught a couple of those. They do look funny.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I enjoy it.
So, Doom Patrol. You watched some of them?
Yeah, there's only one out.
Only one.
But we could all. It's a place they're putting their pieces where they need them to be. So, I mean, really, you could probably just watch episode 2, even though I know you're going to watch episode 1. But
I'm totally. Did you watch, Chris? Have you ever seen Doom Patrol?
I have not. No.
Are you a superhero, DC, Marvel comic kind of guy?
I've been more Marvel, but now that I have HBO Max or whatever, I've been watching a lot of the DC stuff.
So it's based on a DC comic of these less than superheroes that are kind of, think of it like a really bad X-Men.
Yeah.
A really bad X-Men.
They're like the Wish.com X-Men.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Suicide Squad heroes.
No.
Way worse.
Way
They're
not
worse.
bad guys.
No.
Put it this way: Brandon Fraser plays this robot, like a Tin Man, and it's fuck, you know, through the whole thing, and it's great. You know, and you, I mean, it's a great show to watch. I think this is either season 3 or 4 that just dropped.
I gotta catch up on that then.
Yeah, you know, the most infuriating. It's not infuriating because it's not their fault, but what was it called when they redone the Snyder Cut for the
the Snyder Cut.
So the Snyder Cut made me before then. Cyborg, I didn't give a shit who he was. I watched the movie. I was like, you know what? It's like they just popped him in there.
Mm-hmm.
They done the Snyder Cut, and it's like you get his backstory. It's like, okay, now this is my Cyborg. I know this Cyborg. I know his story. And then you come into here, it's the same story, but it's like the Wish.com, and I can't get it out of my mind. Like this isn't my Cyborg.
So I kind of knew the Cyborg story going into Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're not helping this guy's cause at all, man. It's like I don't even. I feel like they just needed that one extra character, and it was like, who do we bring into this that is damaged goods that can kind of fit into this group? And it was like, Cyborg. It was like, oh, great idea. Let's just bring in Cyborg. He's damaged goods. He'll fit into this perfect. And so there he is.
He kind of brings down the show. I don't know if it's just because I have that
he does.
perception of him, but he bring like all the rest of the characters they're in. It's pretty fun and it's
Well,
yeah.
he's the one solid. You know,
Right,
he is the grounded one. You know,
He's the
so
constant
rest-
water.
Yeah, the rest of them are just like woo.
Yeah.
But he's the one that is kind of like got one foot in reality of like, you know, I was a college football player in a real world. Like y'all just nut jobs.
Yeah.
You know? So of course he's the one guy that's annoying.
Well,
because-
then he hooks up with the psychopath chick or the we'll see how that goes. You get an update on that in the first episode. So
Yay.
but besides
check
that,
it out.
what have you been watching besides Picard? Or is Picard taking up all your time?
Picard took up all my time. I haven't even been watching like most of the time when I'm editing, I'll watch like James Corbin or something like that, and it's like I don't even have the TV on right now just because I'm just trying to get. I have so much crap I'm trying to get done and trying to stay focused on. So it's like, dude, my life has just been hell.
I just watched the new season of Lucifer.
I never
you
got
wanna hear
into it.
Yeah, okay. So my Lucifer story, I watched it when it was on regular network, and I fell in love with it. I thought it was wonderful. They're again based on DC character Lucifer. When we went to Hollywood, we did the backlot tour at Warner Brothers, and they were like, "Yeah, you know, we have this over here and we have that over there, and this is the Lucifer's film." I said, "Whoa!" Haley and I were in the front. We were standing by the tour, and we said, "Wait, Lucifer?" She's like, "Yeah." Like, can we see it? She's like, "I mean, if you want." And we're like, "Yeah." So we went into the Lucifer soundstage where his house is. So the elevator that you walk in is actually the entrance into it. It's fake
cool.
as shit. And then they had like a taped off area that you could walk on into his apartment, which on the TV show, I'm going to tell you right now, his apartment looks gigantic. It's fucking small as shit and it's all an illusion. And it's like, it's crazy as hell. But yeah, we got to go into his apartment. We were probably the only two people there that were like, cheese the fuck out, going, "Oh my God, this is so cool. There's the bar. There's the bookcase. Oh, look out the window." You know, and it's just like, and everyone's like, "Where are we?" And we're like, "This is the soundstage for the TV show Lucifer. You don't know?" Oh God. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So, but I haven't watched, I never finished watching the last season to get into this season. So, because that's one. So what happens in my life is that Haley will want to watch something with me, and we'll start watching it, and then she'll get bored, and then I'm like, "Can I just finish watching this?" And then if I do, "Why did you finish watching?" "Well, because we haven't watched it in like a month, and I want to get to the end of it." She's like, "Oh, you suck." So I get stuck in this Haley limbo of like, are we gonna go back to watching that? Like For All Mankind. Did any of you guys watch For All Mankind?
No.
Still haven't watched it. That's an Apple Plus show. It's freaking cool as shit if you're into like the space race.
Yeah.
You got into season 2, and then it's like she got bored.
Yeah.
I tried watching Umbrella Academy with my wife.
I couldn't get into
that didn't happen.
No.
I watched it. I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was good, but I just couldn't wait for her to watch with me.
Yeah. But see, I tell the guys at work, like on shows like that, if they know it's weird or whatever, they just need to give me the hey, just watch it. Like yes, it's weird, but it's worth it. I need to get that because if you're waffling, I'm not gonna watch it. And it's weird and you're waffling, nah, definitely not gonna watch it.
It's really good. I really liked it.
All right, well, let's talk about the Mr. Brooks. Let's get into it. All right. So, you want me to give a synopsis, or do you just want to tell me what you thought? All right. Well, let's
break it down.
Did you like it though?
Who, me?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked
it. It was good.
No, I liked it, but there is some issues with it.
Oh, plenty. All right.
Yeah.
The premise for Mr. Brooks. Let's break it down. Kevin Costner plays a multiple personality having serial killer, or just okay. So it's not even that. It's a multiple personality having person addicted to killing people. He's also rich, like loaded. He's a man of the people. At the beginning of the show, he's getting nominated for Man of the Year. and it just he's very smart and very cautious about how he kills people. But the whole show is just kind of the inner windings of a day in the life of somebody addicted to killing somebody with multiple personalities. And we get to see him and his personality, who just interact flawlessly, kind of wind through the movie. And once you figure out what's happening, you're kind of like, oh, that's cool. And towards the end of the movie, we find out that his daughter may also be cursed with the same problems that he has, and he has to go take action to fix that. As well as there is someone in the movie that caught him. He wasn't careful for one time, and Dane Cook plays a character that is it Dane Cook? No, right?
Dane Cook, it is. Yeah,
Dane Cook,
I looked it up.
Comedian. It's caught him, and he wants to go on the journey too. He was so excited to watch him kill somebody. He's like, I want you to show me how to do it. So he's got a lot of things happening here. His daughter could be the same thing he is. Dane Cook wants him to show him how to kill other people. And of course, he doesn't want to do any of it, but he does because he's addicted to it. So a lot of inner demons talking to him. Where do we begin?
Well, I mean, they jump you into it. So you jump in, you're straight in there, and usually they kind of give you a little backstory. They pop the second personality up on you out of the blue.
In the back seat of the car.
In the back seat. And it's like, well...
Just driving like this.
And you get it. Eventually you get it. You're like, okay, she can't see him, and this is all conversation he's having in his head. That's just like, it's a little jarring. Like, at some point to have this backstory would be a little bit nice. Like, who is this guy to him? Is it somebody he knew in his past? Is it someone he killed? Is it someone that trained him to be a killer and died, or he killed?
It's just a personality of his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And that's I think the dynamics between the two of them, like, freaking make the movie, because it's like we all have that internal monologue of like, you know, oh dude, she's lying to me. She's lying. There's no way that's real. But now we visually see the person standing going, you know, she's lying to you. You think? Oh, you know, come on. And it's like the other guy, it's almost funny when you listen to him, because he's like, when he goes, do you think? He's like, yeah, you know, I'm literally you. If I know, you know. I mean, duh. You know?
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, I know what's going on because I'm a figment of your imagination. So if I'm thinking it, guess what? So
you already thought it.
You know?
And what I found weird too, that is he seemed to know what was going to happen. Like when he was going to pull out the gun on him in the car, he's like, "Here comes the gun." You know, like right before he pulled on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says he could smell it, like smell the oil of different oil than his gun oil. So.
And so that's part of the thing, is that I mean, this is like a Batman gone wrong. I mean, if you think, this is like a Bruce Wayne gone wrong. Highly intelligent individual that went the wrong, you know, that was addicted to killing somebody with multiple personality disorder. Hyper smart, loaded. God, the guy's got money for days.
Yeah.
So it was, yes, and Demi Moore was also the cop that was chasing him. I forgot to mention that. There was a cop, actually there's a cop that's chasing him. This is when Demi Moore was hot. Right. Because it was like 2007 or something like that.
Smoking, 2007.
So that was like right after G.I. Jane, where she still was like, you know, but she still sounded like she's been smoking Marlboros for way too long. You know. So, all right. So keep going.
Okay. So as far as the movie in general, it was entertaining. It was good. Kept you engaged. If you forgive the small details and you can do the suspension of disbelief and you can just get into it, the interaction between them was great. The interaction between him and other people is great, because there's something off about him, and everyone knows it, but no one wants to say it.
Well, and that was the thing I thought was neat watching it much later now, was that you really didn't, I didn't pick up on that when I first watched it many, many years ago, but it was like, there's definitely the way he talks and interacts, like with his wife. He's like, it's almost like a robot. I think I'm going to go out to the whatever his art. I think I'm going to go out to the studio right now and work on some stuff. Yeah. Okay, honey, you have a good night. I will, thank you. You know, it was very robotic. Like he was just doing it to be like, all right, the rules are this. I got to play by the rules. Fine. You know?
Yeah. What and the crazy and one of the what's cool, crazy, whatever you want to call it. He seems like he genuinely loves his daughter and his wife,
Yes.
but then also he had to have the conversation of himself. It's like, is he going to kill his daughter? That's
Right.
what I don't know if I'm taking away from this wrong or right because they don't actually say that straight out. But the conversation's going like, okay, well, you can either help her get out of this, you can let her go to prison, and then it seemed like there was a third option on the table, which would be killing his own daughter.
Right, which we knew he could never do because he was always like his counterpart said, he's always got her out of trouble.
Right.
So he spent all his time getting her out of trouble. So clearly she's some form of a troubled teen. They picked the perfect girl to be the troubled teen. She's just a mess.
Yeah, I'm trying to. She looks so familiar, and I didn't look her up.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna look her up. You guys go ahead and vamp while I'm looking her up.
So, what did you think, Chris?
I liked it. I mean, I was watching it while I was working and stuff. So, but I liked the movie overall. Like I looked away for a second, and the next scene that I saw, she's stabbing him in the neck with a knife with a pair of scissors. And I'm like, I pointed to Roger. She killed the dad. She killed the dad. Look, she killed him, and he's bleeding out there.
Yeah,
and,
that was the unwritten conversation when they were talking about if she has the same thing that he has. How is because it doesn't matter who you kill at that age, because they were talking about how stupid she was. They're like, she's not being smart about it, So you almost wish there was a part 2, but the part 2 wouldn't be any good because the part 2 is where he's got to figure out a way to talk to her. It's just like there's one question in the movie where he comes back into the kitchen and goes, "Do you love me?" And she's like, "Well, of course, Dad." And it's like, but it was just that was very off and unsettling. The white.
Yeah, okay. It was like.
Yeah, you're like, okay, and it's like I just went and killed this guy with an axe in another state and flew back within 24 hours to keep you out of prison because you're too stupid to take the axe with you.
Oh, dude, when he was on the plane with that getup, I laughed out loud. When it showed him on the plane with the fake ass beard.
Yeah.
It's like Clark Kent or a superhero that just puts the mask on or whatever. Like, yeah, now I'm a superhero. I put the little eye thing on.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell my identity.
But I mean, it was like he came up with the perfect cover for it, because he's like, he made clay pots, so he had this giant kiln, so he could burn all the evidence of his wrongdoing. And he would vacuum the people's apartments, and he would dust everything and clean everything, and he would break in there before so he knew what he was getting into. I mean, he was a burglar and a killer. I mean, it was just like, what did you think of the scene after he shot both of them dead, and he's just like having that, for lack of a better term, orgasmic relief?
Yeah, that was
just doing that whole like,
He done it again when he threw the pictures in the fire. For a short second. Yeah, it was that got a little weird, but
that got a little bit weird. And then the guy when he comes back to people. Yeah, he killed 2 people, and he goes back home and he says, "Go fuck your wife," and it's like, it's like you just literally busted a nut, killing 2 people. Now you're gonna sorry for the
What I mean, it's
it makes sense.
And you say that he almost got caught, and he literally tells whatever, I forget the name of the other guy, but he's like, yeah, it's almost like I did that on purpose.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, because he don't want to kill. He's going to AA meetings.
Yeah.
Well, he being one part of the personality doesn't want to kill. The other guy is kind of the realist, like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. You can say whatever you want.
I like to, and there's that scene in the movie where he goes, "I like to kill. I like to have sex. I like to do this. I like living." And it's like every bad thing that he is this person, and it's like, and they I think it's great. What I thought was cool about that, so here's the funny part. If you were ever a Deadpool fan, one of the things that they left out of Deadpool was his multiple personality disorder. So we never got to see that in the movie. And that was always, as a Deadpool fan, that was like, how are they going to do Deadpool and make it entertaining? Because most people don't realize he talks to himself and answers. And in the beginning of the comic stretch that they did, there was actually 3 people in there. So, and they would write it as 3 different text boxes. So he would carry on conversations with himself.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, so leading up to the first Deadpool, it was like, how are they going to explain the multiple personality disorder that he has? And they never did. They just said, we're just going to leave this out because Ryan Reynolds should be able to, we'll just let Ryan Reynolds do his thing and he can just talk a lot.
Right.
But you see, I was never into like Deadpool before the movie, so I didn't know anything about the multiple personality disorder. But just from watching the movies, I could tell that he had a multiple personality disorder because the way he talked to the audience and whatnot, you're breaking the third wall. I mean, it's meant to be, in gist.
Yeah.
But like I thought about it, I'm like, dude, that guy's got something going on upstairs.
Yeah, so in the comics, that's the thing. He's always talking to himself, and his self is answering. And they tried. So before the movie came out, they tried to explain away one of them as another character that got beamed into his head, and finally is free now. But it was like, it's kind of stupid. So they kind of tried to explain it away and brush it under the carpet. And moving forward, because of the new fandom, I think they've tried to get away from that too. But the original comics, he was batshit fucking crazy. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, and that was, to me, like, you had that other movie that had Russell Crowe, where he was like
recently,
within the last 10 years, where he was like he thought he was. There was like 5 people that followed him around. He was like a college professor. And
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up. But where he had like 5 people that followed him around, and the reason he could finally figure out that they were fake was because they never aged. They always stayed the same age. So like, it's like he had a roommate that wasn't a roommate, and his niece, the roommate's niece, was always there. But and at the end of the movie, like he's walking and and he had it under control, and he got his pen. A brilliant mind. Thank you, David. Way to come through in a clutch. And they're walking across the campus, and off like 20, 30 feet away is the group of his multiple personalities, kind of like walking with him and looking at him. Like, we're still here. And that's when they asked him, they're like, how do you know who's, if they're real or fake? He goes, because they never age. But he set up that whole, it's like, I think in a movie, it's a great way to have some fun with the movie,
Right.
And granted, this is a serious thing, but in this movie, having those 2 characters to play off one another and having one of them fake was fabulous.
Because it's a standard for the audience. He's saying what you're thinking. He's saying what you're thinking, and that is always nice to have.
It was the Tyrese Givens character in Fast 9.
Exactly.
Just unfortunately, he was real.
Yeah.
And everyone had to see him.
Man, can we just I'm so disappointed in Fast 9. Still today, I haven't watched it again, but
I haven't watched it at all.
What? You gotta watch it.
I know. I've watched every movie, and this one's been out. I saw it on Amazon the other day or something, and I'm like,
you gotta watch it to know how sucky it is. I mean, we took a Fiero to outer space.
I saw the car catapulting off each other with magnets, and I'm like, all right, that's
like,
it. I'm done.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to avoid the schizophrenia thing, because multiple personality disorder kind of sounds a little less, it's, I mean, we all know it's schizophrenia, but I feel multiple personality just kind of makes it sound a little bit more, I don't know,
palatable,
less crazy. I don't know. Schizophrenia just, it seems mean.
Right.
Like,
well, I mean, kind of like killing people, I guess.
Yeah, but hey, let's be honest. There's no, just kidding.
There are those people.
Right. I mean,
Hey,
they
listen,
had it coming.
if I'm building a boat because there's a
Yeah.
flood coming, there's some people that aren't going to get on the boat.
Yeah.
It ain't just going to be the unicorns. I'm just telling you right now. Those horny bastards.
So, like, who are we rooting for in this movie? That's another problem. Like, who are we rooting for?
I'm with you there because it's like you don't know if you should like him because he's a
Right.
serial killer. And Dane Cook, you're like, well, this guy stepped into his own pile of shit because
Right.
he could have turned him in and just been done with it, but he decided, no, I want to have this. I want to have a guy that I just watched kill these people take me on one of his killing things. Like, how stupid are you? Apparently really stupid, we found out at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then Demi Moore has this whole problem. It was like this whole movie was just filled with problems on problems on problems. So it's like,
Right.
for me, the fact that I even liked this was just beyond me because I can't stand this much drama. And like, she's got $60 million and she's a cop. And her boy toy is suing her
for $5 million.
Yeah, it was
Well,
really
that was-
1.
yeah.
Yeah, it was 1.5, and then he tries to get 5, and of course you knew as soon as you saw him and that lawyer together, you're like, they're banging each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, it was plainly
Totally.
obvious. That's
Yeah, totally
Now,
obvious.
The ending of the movie, in my opinion, was just brilliant. And the one thing about the ending of the movie that I thought kind of set, like, it went deeper into his head was his counterpart had no idea what he was thinking. So clearly there's a wall that he can put up between his thinking and his imaginary friend's thought, because in the end he thought he was going to die. Like his imaginary friend was like, we're going to die. We're going to die right here, and this sucks. But he had a whole plan B that he had set up, and somehow he missed all of that.
Right.
And it was like, so the final scene, which was done fabulously, is he of course starts to find out about the cop that is hunting him down, because the cop is on to Dane Cook as he's lying to him, and he might have pictures of this whole thing. She of course has been chasing him for years because he's the thumbprint killer, because lately that's kind of his thing is doing this, but he's been killing people for years and years and years. This is just something new that he's doing just to have some fun with the cops that he didn't even realize he was having.
Yeah.
So he gets this, he's sitting in a parking lot, and they're going to kill this guy that cut them off. So they were doing the research to figure out when they were going to kill this guy. And in the midst of all that, the person that just broke out of jail that she had hated, and of course who had abducted her earlier in the movie, rolls into the parking lot, and he's sitting there. And I love it when you see both their heads look at him at the same time. They're like, why do we know him?
Yeah.
Why do I know this guy? And he's like, you should read the newspaper more. And it's like, it's this. And he goes, well, that's what I have you for. So, which was even further, just kind of like sets it out. Like, he'll literally hold up the newspaper and be reading it, but he's not reading it. The other guy's reading it. So it's like being able to compartmentalize your brain like that. I mean, it's kind of cool. Let's be honest. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
If you can have another hi-fi pop up and go like, well, this is that information. And go, oh, thanks, and then disappear would be really neat. Anyway, so he comes up with this really convoluted idea of how to, because he ends up liking the cop. Like, why? She's got an interesting story, and he wants to know why she's a cop if she's got $60 million in the bank. Doesn't make any sense.
Same reason we wanted to know that as well.
Yes, because it didn't make any sense.
Right.
Dane Cook is a terrible actor.
It's like Will Smith in Bad Boys. He's a playboy cop. He inherited a bunch of money from his parents, and he's just doing it because, for the
He's doing it for the fun. She was doing it to just make a point to her dad, because her dad was a douche and wanted a boy, and she was just trying to prove I'm just as good as a boy. Well, of course you're going to become a cop. I mean, why not, right? That makes total sense.
Well, I would say that Dane Cook is the most unlikable character in the movie.
Yeah, I couldn't take him seriously.
Yeah, and I would say Demi Moore is actually pretty close to him as far as unlikable character.
Oh, Yes.
you should be rooting for her.
No,
I
when
think-
she gets her ass kicked, you're just like, that's what you get.
Yeah, like that's what you.
That's what you
This
get.
that's what you get. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and the nice thing too is they almost knew that, because when she finally, in the final scene, so she's after him, and she's after these two people, this person that had broken out of jail. So he comes up with the perfect plan. He's either going to have Dane Cook kill him, and he's just going to disappear, and no one's going to know that he's the killer, or he's going to kill Dane Cook. So he kind of is on the fence out of both of them. So he goes and moves Dane Cook out of his apartment, unbeknownst to him, hides all his shit, and leaves a piece of paper that has the address of this new place where he's gone, which just happens to be next door to the person that she's hunting that broke out of prison. So she's going to do the follow-up, and they go and kill the lawyer and her soon-to-be ex-husband. That's who they decide to kill instead of this guy that cut him off. So, and while they're there, Dane Cook pees his pants, which immediately puts him on the thing, and he's like, oh god, almost like he knew something stupid was going to happen, because they didn't do all the cleaning and stuff like that they normally do. And at the end scene, it's like it all comes together. So Dane Cook is now the guilty one, and they're standing in front. I like what he said: when you invest your money, invest it in cemeteries and water, two things that people need.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it. He's right.
And food.
Yeah, well, yeah. Everyone needs water, though.
Yeah.
So he's standing there, and of course, he's like, am I going to let Dane Cook kill me? And he decides, nah, I'm not going to.
Right.
So he ends up killing Dane Cook, and everyone's happy and whatnot.
Yeah, I like that. That end scene, it was like a real Quentin Tarantino moment where the movie's pretty chill. There is some violence in it, but not graphic violence. And then at the end, boom, graphic, shovel cuts neck open violence. And I'm like, it hits you back like, whoa, shit. Like he just cut his neck in half.
That's what we all said. The three of us, we were watching the movie. Yeah. We're waiting for a customer to pick up their car, and we're just like, we go, damn, he just hit his shovel.
That was like the perfect crescendo. Like, damn, it was mild. You could see like a gunshot here and there, but it wasn't like this.
Dude, let me tell you what, that gun scene in the hallway. Yeah. All right, on a surround sound stereo, if you want to hear a fucking gun scene that will just drive you, dude, man. Sue and I are both in the living room, just minding our own business, kind of watching the movie. I'm kind of like, I got two things going on at once, and that gun scene, it's like, fucking A, man. My surround just kicked on out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit.
That was a cool scene too, though. I like that scene because it's the lights are going in and out, strobing.
It's a total Sylvester Stallone, like Cobra style shot where it's just
we had to turn it down in the bay because they came in from the store saying, "What's going on back here?"
Got a shootout going. What the fuck does it sound like? Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, I'm sure you had to turn it down also when the redhead was banging the dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. We had to fast forward through that part real quick.
Not work approved.
No, definitely not safe for work.
So is there any other scenes about? So you keep talking about the holes in the movie. What were the big holes that kind of like?
Just not basically. You only know what he tells you. You're only seeing his side of the story. You don't know anything about him outside of what he lets you know. So it's like it's not narrated by him, but it is him telling you the story. So you don't know any information besides whatever he gives you, and he's an unreliable narrator. So it's not really a hole in the story. It's just that you only know the information he gives you. Yeah. So nothing is.
Yeah, it kind of leaves some mystery though, as far as like you're like, So, which I kind of like. I kind of like not knowing all the information. Then the final scene is he steals a phone and he goes up onto a parking garage, and he calls Demi Moore to ask her the question of why she became a cop. Yeah. All the things she could have done. She doesn't need to be a cop. Why did she become a cop? And we find out at this candid moment of she tells him that, because my dad was a dick and he wanted a boy, and I'm just as good as a boy, so I became a cop. And he says, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Drops
the phone, and that's that.
You told me where you're going to be. I'm on top of a building.
Yeah.
He just drops it.
And then she goes, because they think Dane Cook is the thumbprint killer.
Right.
And she goes, that wasn't Dane Cook. And he's like, and they were like, I wonder who that was. You know, and it's like, it doesn't matter. The thumbprint killer is dead now because it is Dane Cook. He basically sets him up to take the fall for that.
Right.
But I do like the scene after he's, you know, when he's killing Dane Cook, he's like, I've been killing people in many ways for a very long time. And so, you know, you're like, okay, so that really sets up like, okay, so he's the thumbprint killer now because that's just what's doing it for him at the moment. But this guy's been killing people for a long, like, where did he learn to kill people? And,
right.
you know, what, you know, how is all this going? Because, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what Rob was saying. It's like,
go ahead.
It's like, it's like you're missing that whole, like, backstory. Like, how did you become to be this? Did you develop a multiple personality? Did you kill by accident the first time and you got your jollies off doing it, and then you decided, hey, I'm gonna kill for the rest of my life? You know,
right.
that kind
but
of.
I think that's the one thing, because I think in a lot of these movies they give us too much information that is just like not really, like, we don't need to know that to know this part of his life. We can kind of figure out that he's struggling with this, and you know,
just
he
getting a moment in time.
You know, and then as the movie kind of plays out, we get the idea like he's been doing this a really long time. Because I mean, like he vacuums the house, he vacuums his car, everything's on plastic. I mean, it's like he's ashamed of himself, but he's cleaning up all the stuff, and then he just dumps it into his kiln, and it all just disappears. And it's like, wow, okay, you know, and like his hand is. He puts the bag over his hand to zip tie so there's no residue that goes anywhere. You know, and they're like, there's one piece of plastic they find in the first victim's head, and that's because she's like, because he puts a bag over his hand, you know.
Right. Well, and he says, what if he kills someone without a vacuum? He won't do that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
What? And you know, he's kind of like you know who Joseph D'Angelo is?
No.
The guy that they recently caught. And he was a serial killer. He was a cop back in the 70s. And he was actually the Hillside Strangler, the original Night Stalker. There was 4 people that they thought were serial killers and rapists.
Right.
He was all of them. He's on trial now, like in 2021. He's an 80-year-old man that caught him through DNA. So that could be him. He could be 4 or 5 different serial killers that people thought they knew, and he just changed up his MO over the years.
Wow. Is that like a Netflix documentary or something?
I think they're working on something about it, but yeah, it's just I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts.
True comedy?
Yeah. So, it's pretty crazy, man. He was there's a whole podcast just on him, and then they kind of get into the trial a little bit, not much, but they're talking about he was basically 3 or 4 different rapist stranglers that they were in all different areas, and turns out he was a cop doing all this.
I mean, why not? I mean, if it's gotta be. I mean, might as well. It's a perfect profession for that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so it comes to that point in the show. Do we have any other comments we want to add about the movie? Anything? No. Any pieces that we left out? So I'm going to start with you, Chris. If when watching this movie, other than in the install bay, if you had to snack on something, what would you snack on while you were watching this movie?
Believe it or not, we were eating Chinese.
I could believe that.
Yeah.
What Chinese did you have?
Lo mein and fried rice.
Ooh.
Starch all the way. Also.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I threw in an egg roll for good measures.
Yeah, well, I did have some pork in it.
Yeah, you did have a little bit of it. Yeah.
What about you, Rob?
My perfect snack, and I think this is very fitting. It's what I had. You know, like the little pepper Thin Mints.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem like something Mr. Brooks would eat after he's like killed somebody, he's cleaned up, he's rewarding himself with just a small little Thin Mint, you know?
Yeah,
like it's refreshing.
Like the grasshopper cookies.
Yeah, well, he's cleaning his voice before he goes up and has sex with his wife.
Right. You got to get it off his breath, you know?
Opens it up, he goes in the refrigerator, grabs the still dead hand of the Girl Scout holding the Thin Mints, and just like,
yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
What about you? What do you got?
Man, you know, this is the one I kind of struggle with because it was like, I didn't even know where to begin, and I was like, last weekend, as it turns out, was fake hamburger weekend. We went out to eat Saturday night, and I was like, man, I'm really in the mood for a burger, and I don't eat red meat, so they have the Impossible Burger or whatever the hell it is. So
Impossible
I was like,
Whopper,
yeah. Well, I wasn't at Burger King, so I don't slum there.
Oh no! Oh no!
Sorry, man. None of my. Anyways, I don't know where we were. So I was like, hey, let me get the sub out the meat patty for the Impossible Burger, and let me get this burger you have. And I was like, awesome. And I ate it, and I was like, you know.
Yeah.
Then we go to a picnic birthday party on Sunday, and there again, they have Impossible Burgers. And that was the only thing there that it was like, I'm eating all the snacks and shit because they're cooking hot dogs and French or burgers, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't on my list. And he goes, oh, I got Impossible Burgers too, and I was like, oh, great. So after that last weekend, I'm impossibly not going to eat another goddamn Impossible Burger ever. But if I had to watch Mr. Brooks again, just because it put that weird taste in my mouth that I just like, this ain't a hamburger. I'd eat an Impossible Burger.
You know what? The Burger King version is not that bad. It's like it's close.
Easy meat.
It's mushroomy.
The butcher, man.
But I like mushrooms. So
I hate mushrooms with a passion.
Spores,
mold, and fungus. It's called a toadstool for a reason, all right? You know, hey. Anyways, anything that looks like a frog, tastes like a frog's ass, I'm out. I can't do mushrooms, but yeah.
Cheese pork rinds. I've never. You know, I was actually thinking about that the other day since I've been trying to cut some of the carbs out. I was like, why don't they make pork rinds with like Dorito dust on them?
Oh, dude. Oh no, you're eating the wrong things. Cheesy poos.
Yeah, I don't. I know which ones you're talking about.
$1.99. They're in the $1.99 bag. They're called cheesy poofs. They're like no calories at all. You can eat half a bag.
Really?
It's like 100 calories.
I had something that was like a Parmesan cheese crisp.
No.
And they're okay if you eat like one or two, but then they start to get.
It tastes
gross.
like feet, man.
Those are just anything with Parmesan is disgusting.
You know what's good that I've been wanting to try that I've seen it on Facebook a few times already? The chicken skin pork rinds. Like the chicken skin rinds.
I haven't tried them, but
I used to make them. I used to make them myself, and I saw somebody put them on. I'm like, missed opportunity.
Yeah,
it is synthetic garbage.
Yeah,
cheesy tater tots. That's not. But no, check out the cheesy poofs. You know, they have them. They have popcorn flavored and they have cheese flavored.
Yeah,
and they're very low calorie. And they're addictive as hell. Like you can eat the whole bag, and you won't feel guilty about it. You'll go, "Oh, there's no calories in this at all. It's wonderful." And there's no sugar and all that crap.
I love snacks, so I'll have to check them
out. But no, those are what I eat when I need a snack. I have a bag of cheesy poofs.
One more snack you guys gotta try: Dots pretzels.
Oh no, I got those.
You got those?
Oh, you kidding me? Pretzels?
Bro,
yeah.
I just had them the first time for like a week ago.
Savage. Are they better than Snyder of Hanover pretzels?
Yeah, Yes. It's a twisted rod that's about this tall. They have like 6 different flavors. It's DOTS, Dots pretzels. They're fabulous. But you know what tastes really good with Dots pretzels? Because I'm a cheese and crackers kind of guy. Yeah. Jalapeno. I get the
the Frito.
Pesto.
The Frito. Oh,
no. It's the good shit, not in the not the jar kind, but up in the where they keep the
like in the deli where they keep the cheese spreads.
Well, over where they keep the cheese and they keep the Italian food that is refrigerated section Italian food.
Yeah.
They have the jalapeno cheddar white cheese sauce that's over in that section, like where the butter and all that crap is. Somebody makes one of those, and I buy that because Haley told me that's what I'm supposed to buy. This is the best, and I don't argue with her.
Where you get it at Publix?
Yeah, of course. It's right there, top shelf. They make one with jalapeno and without jalapeno.
I see that, and I'm like, "Where's the bottom shelf equivalent?"
It's not that expensive.
We're not reaching to the top shelf.
No, we go full top shelf.
You seen how big these kids are here? They're
Oh
freaking
no, you just
giant.
put it right, dude. The thing is, it comes in like what looks like a butter dish. They have no
Yeah.
idea what it is. When's the last time one of those idiots grabbed butter?
No, dude, listen. You've
Oh, they're
seen
that
Kyle. Kyle,
He
when
camps
that,
out at the door.
listen, when he gets hungry, he's going, man. He's going. I don't know where he puts it all. The fool's taller than me now at this point. So yeah,
But no. So, anyways, Dots pretzels with the white cheese queso jalapeno
Yeah.
dip. It's like
they do that at Dairy Queen. They do like a soft pretzel, and they do like
Probably.
white queso with it.
yeah,
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
as far as bagged pretzels go, Dots is the way to go.
Dots are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had a better bagged, pretzel than Dots.
I'm good for
Fire.
about 4 or 5 pretzel sticks. Then I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're really rich, Rob. They're like really buttery. Like I saw a video on their site, and they
Yeah.
kind of like toss it in butter with the seasoning. So
They
the
make them
butter's
the
like
best, the worst way possible. Yummy.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
We want these to
Paula
taste
Deen
good.
method.
All right, well, let's kill them.
yeah. Let's load it with butter.
Well, that's just like, so this weekend we're going to Disney, and the girls found that it's the 50th anniversary right now. And
Yeah.
so they found this dessert that is just like, it's everything. It's like every single, it's in this giant thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. I guess we're going to find out about it because they made reservations for the restaurant. So I was like, I wonder how much that thing is. It's got to be like $25-$30. Fuck me. All right.
Probably at least at Disney.
Yeah.
It's probably more than that. I bet you.
I
Dean.
don't, yeah.
You're a Disney fan. You been on a Disney cruise?
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. When we were driving to Stillwater, the girls went on a cruise. That was kind of my payment for, hey, I'm going to go do all this stuff, and
Yeah.
you guys are just going to have to sit at home. I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you a Disney cruise. I'm a nice
Oh
guy. So
man,
they went on the Disney cruise, and I went and drove for 17 hours to see Hi-Fi.
Yeah.
if
I had a
you
way better
have
time.
you have to go on a Disney cruise. Like I went to the Disney cruise and I was like, oh, this is gonna be for kids and it's gonna be lame, bro. It is awesome.
Oh,
And the
I'm
food?
sure it is.
Oh god, don't even get me started on the food,
I
Rob.
won't.
You'll love it.
I think so. When we got back, they said to me, "Oh, we're gonna go on another one." I said, "Oh, we are." I says, "Yeah." So if you book your next one before you leave, you get 10% off. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, 10%! Dang!"
Book it. Put it on the card. Put it on Paul's Amazon card.
Yeah. Want the number? These guys constantly sidejag on sidejag. That's why we came up with that name.
Exactly.
It works perfect, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
when you hit me with the side jack, it's like, yeah, that's what we do.
So I was thinking about the movie selection that we typically do, how we always have them like pick one and add. So I don't want to do that. What I was thinking we should do is you just tell us the next movie you want us to watch. I mean, we could put up the list.
He's
to make
gonna
it
hit us
easy.
with that Fifth Element. Watch.
No,
I see
no,
it in
no,
his
no.
eyes.
I won't,
I see
I
it in
won't do
his
that to you
eyes.
guys.
You
I
know,
won't
it's
do that to you
funny.
guys.
I was funny too because I was trying to think, what movie did we both veto?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Why do we? You know what? I actually don't mind that movie that much, but I don't know for whatever reason.
I don't
Yeah,
think I could
it's
talk
just
about
guys
it.
were
For more than
vibing.
5
It
minutes.
wasn't vibing at the moment.
We transmitted across the internet like, yo, this is veto.
No, and never the Human Centipede. No, I mean, come on.
No,
We're
I haven't
trying
watched
to up
that movie.
we're trying to up the game here a little bit. I mean,
I'm gonna give you a
Right.
good movie. I saw it with my dad in the theater, and it meant a lot to me. Road to Perdition
with
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, it takes
I
place in
think-
like the 1930s.
Yes,
I
I've
think
seen
I've
it,
seen it, but it's been a long,
Very good
time.
movie.
Long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that'd
There's
be
a lot
good
of
one.
rain in that
See,
movie.
I stepped it up. I stepped it up from Fifth Element to, something that's meaningful.
Yeah, there were shotguns. It was good.
Yeah, Daniel Craig's in that movie. Tom
Is
Hanks,
he?
Paul
He's
Newman.
really young. Ooh, all right. So who wants to see the next James Bond?
Oh yeah,
I'm excited.
I didn't even watch the. I didn't even watch the other ones. Any of the other ones.
Shut up. God, you
I haven't seen the last two.
Yeah.
The last two I haven't seen, so
All
I gotta
right,
catch
fine.
up.
Never mind. I'll be the only
last-
one.
Last
and
one
I
I
watched
seen
James
was-
Bond.
Last one I seen had Pierce Bronson in it. I think.
Oh my God. Haley goes to
That
me the
far
other
back,
day.
Rob?
She goes,
Yeah.
Yeah. Haley goes, she goes, man, I miss doing our movie reviews. And I was like, well, I mean, we could probably go to a movie now. There are some new movies coming out because I mean, most people don't remember when we did. We would go to the movies on one night and we would come out and do movie reviews in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big with Tom Hanks. There, I don't think I could watch that again. Like that's a great movie if it's like a Saturday or Sunday and you walk out and you turn on the TV and it's on and they're like, and they're doing the little piano keyboard thing, and you'll watch and like, oh, I remember this movie, and then you'll change the channel, watch something that doesn't suck. You know?
Yeah. It's an oldie, but you know sometimes they don't always hold up like you want them to.
No.
Yeah, you watch it again after you saw it, and you're like,
any movie. So here's my kind of like premise for any movie. Any movie where I could sit there and go, a cell phone will solve all these problems.
Right.
It's not worth watching.
So every horror movie after.
Yes, every horror movie ever made. It's like, a cell phone would fix all this. And it sucks even worse when they sit there and go, oh, there's no reception in this area. Where the fuck are you? Seriously? Come on. I mean, you're trying to tell me that everyone in your party, like, there's not somebody with a Sprint phone or a T-Mobile phone? Yeah, there's coverage somewhere.
Yeah.
Matrix says I'm actually going to see in the theater if it opens, and I don't go to theaters. Yeah, that's probably going to be a good one.
Are you a Halloween movie guy? Do you like Halloween movies or the?
No, they're stupid. But I have been forced to watch that Jamie Lee Curtis video.
Well, not
my
Halloween.
family's going to kill him.
Not just the Halloween, like in general, but like in general, like Halloween movie type movies. Like it could be whatever.
I'm not a Halloween guy. I don't do Halloween.
That's my wife. My wife with Halloween movies. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
like the movie with the witches. What's that movie? I can't think of it.
Yeah.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus, right?
1, 2, and 3.
I like that movie. Yeah.
I've seen it a million times.
Yeah, a million times.
And the fact that I could not tell you what goes on throughout the movie, but it's been on in the room with me many, many times.
Yeah.
And I've managed to go.
There's like a few seasons where I like to watch movies. Halloween is one of them. I like horror movies, even though I know they're bad, and I like watching Christmas movies.
My birthday's in October, so I'm a big Halloween movie.
Yeah, but like Halloween, like I'm not dressing up. I'm not putting out any decorations. I'll hand out candy. I'll sit on the porch and hand out candy. But yeah.
So El Fuego says Strange Brew. Did you guys ever watch Strange Brew?
No, I don't think so.
Bob and Doug McKenzie. So you're not old enough.
No.
So that was one of those cable movies that came out in the 80s. It was Strange Brew with Bob and Doug. It was take off hoser. It was all Canadian.
Oh god.
So we all learned about Canadian that summer because of Strange Brew because we had no idea. It was just all Canadians. It was great.
I learned about Canadians watching Rust Valley Restorers.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. But they're not really.
Unfortunately, the whole A thing, I had never heard that before I watched that show.
Yeah.
So it's been less than a year.
They remind you, those dudes could totally be from Arkansas if they had a little bit different accent. They're like the Canadian hillbillies.
I've lived under a rock for too long.
Yeah, but I love that show. I freaking love that show.
All right, so we got the movie,
right?
Road to Perdition. What have we missed? We know what foods we were gonna eat. I think we just leave it at that. I don't think we have them add one to the list. I think we just watch the movie that we chose. We'll come back next week. We'll figure out if we liked it. We'll tear it apart. We'll dissect it. We'll do whatever it is we do. I have a question. Would you recommend this movie to your friends, Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Yeah.
I made the guys in the Bay watch it with me, so yeah.
Well, yeah, you tortured them like that. I don't know if that's fair, but
it would depend. Like, I'd have to know like what kind of movies you're into before I recommend it.
Well, I feel that's kind of any recommendation you do. You kind of got to know your audience, but to me, I always just say you should watch this. Bye.
Right.
Well, my wife would really like it. My wife would really like it. I gotta tell her about it because she likes murder mysteries and all that kind of stuff. So cop shows and so she'd like it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, not great. But coming off The Last Samurai, which, however,
that's a great movie. That's a great movie.
I missed this movie too. But coming off that, it's like we're down here. We're up here, but we're still above. What was it? 6 underground.
I mean, every movie we've looked at pretty much before this. I mean, there's very.
Yeah.
I mean, I think The Wolf of Wall Street was really the only like
Right,
big
good
movie,
movie,
that we looked at. So, Road to Perdition was a pretty big movie too. So I think that was
Right.
nominated for something. So I'm pretty excited about that, getting some these better movies in there.
Yeah.
But that's it, guys. Unless you have something else you want to add, that brings us to our end of the show. We'd like to thank Chris for being on the show and joining us and sitting through this nonsensical banter, what we call side jag. And that's about it. Next week we'll be back at it. So we got next week, and then the week after that we will be off because I'll be in Arizona.
Yeah.
Doing stupid
Maybe
stuff.
Tempe or wherever they're at.
I have no idea. Rockford Way or some silly mess like
But,
that. But with that,
It's a pleasure to be on with you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making it. Join us next week. We'll be doing this again. Until then, until we meet, farewell, adieu, bye bye, go to bed.
Yeah.
Hang
Good
up.
night.
Bye. You don't have to